Are your openers shit? Are they absolutely terrible? If you have noticed that perhaps girls that you talk to do not respond to your opening line as well as you want them to, perhaps there's something wrong with your openers. Of course, it could be the case that you just look really unappealing and smell terribly, and that's why girls don't stop for you or don't want to talk to you. But there's also a chance that your openers, both from the verbal and non-verbal perspective, are horrible. In this video, I'll tell you how to start a conversation with a girl that you don't know. We will focus on the verbal side of approach, and in another video, we'll discuss the non-verbal part of approaching. I'm Chris from Deep Inside Social, and welcome to our opener analysis.
Wow, dude, that's deep.
I was actually very surprised when I realized that a lot of guys have no idea how to actually start a conversation with a girl. When they approach, they usually follow these old, actually quite terrible pieces of advice from 2010. They will run up to a girl or walk up to her in a bar and they say, "Excuse me, I just noticed you from over there. I was with a friend, but I just had to come up to you." Boring. And then they continue in the same robotic voice. "And you look very interesting. Now, what is this piece of clothing?" In itself, this opener is not terrible. It's just slow and a bit boring, especially for a big city. The problem is that a lot of these openers have been overused and applied incorrectly to every situation. At this point, pretty much every single attractive girl has heard a similar line. So they all know that this kind of opening is not actually real, nor is it spontaneous, nor is it in the moment. It also sounds extremely robotic and rather boring. So how should you actually talk to girls? There are three categories of good openers. They all have the same thing in common, but they slightly differ in terms of what you actually say. The first one is cold reads. The second one is situational openers, and the third one is direct compliments. The important part about all of them is that they should be spontaneous and genuine. So if you want to go out and approach 10 girls in the same way, using the same line, you're doing it actually wrong, or at least suboptimal. Because I know there will be a lot of guys watching this or listening to this and saying, "Oh, no, but I've approached 100 girls in the same way and I slept with one of them, or a few." That's not the point. You can still get someone to like you for other reasons, even though your opener was terrible. So, what are cold reads, the first category? It's simply walking up to someone and saying an observation, a guess about them. So let's say you see a girl who's dressed in a very artistic way. She pretty much looks like she has just finished painting, or she could be someone who loves drawing. Generally, she goes to art school. A good opener, a good cold read, would be something like this. "Excuse me, sorry, but you look like such an artist. I love it. What do you do? Do you draw? Do you paint? What's going on?" You're pretty much guessing based on her style, on the way she walks, on her entire vibe. And even if you're wrong, it doesn't matter because it opens a conversation and you can explain to her why you thought she was an artist. These are cold read openers. Second category are situational. Those are openers that depend on what is actually happening in the moment. If something happens in the street or in the bar, something funny, you can make a comment about that event or that someone's behavior or even her behavior and start a conversation based on what just happened. For example, a few weeks ago, I was walking down the streets in London and I kind of noticed a girl who was giving me a bit of a look. She was also a little bit checking me out. I was checking her out. And in that exact moment, when I thought I'm gonna say hi to her, and I was thinking, what can I guess about her? A car drove by with an extremely loud exhaust pipe. Guys in that car were trying to get everyone's attention. Both me and the girl looked in that direction of the car, thinking, "Oh my god, these guys again." I laughed and said out loud to her, "That must be the smallest penis I have ever seen." See, this is an example of a situational opener. Of course, it requires her to understand that if there's a loud car and somebody's trying to get attention, the joke is that they probably have a very small penis. But most girls know that, especially girls in big cities. So I relied on that and opened the conversation in the most natural way, commenting on what just happened. Those are situational openers. Now, the third category were direct compliments. And here we have to talk about the worst direct compliment imaginable, which is, "Hey, you are hot! Oh my god, you're so hot!" The reason it doesn't work is because if a girl is even remotely attractive, she has heard it 1,000 times, and usually from very horny, very thirsty dudes, and that never works. A direct compliment works only if it is spontaneous, genuine, and it is about something that she had to work for. For example, if you comment on the color of her hair, if it is clearly recently dyed, then yes, that makes sense. If you comment on her style, on her shoes, on her bag, how they're all matching, that's really cool. Perfect. You can choose whatever you'd like, but it has to be something that she actually worked for. Those are the most powerful direct compliments. And again, if it's genuine and real, then it's powerful. So those are the three categories of openers. The only reason to ever say anything else to a girl is if it's some very special situation or you have some very specific idea that might work. But it always has to feel spontaneous and genuine to the girl. Now, I know that some of you might say, but I can make the most generic compliment sound spontaneous because I'm such a great actor. Okay, Tom Hanks, no problem. You can do that, you can try. But I promise you this, that you will find yourself repeating the same line to every girl you meet, and you will eventually start feeling robotic. And also, you have to spend your own energy making it seem spontaneous, just because you are too slow to actually make it interesting. So how can you actually create these openers? How do you know in real time what to say to the girl? Now, that's when coaching is really useful. Because when I'm coaching guys, how to actually get better with girls, we discuss the whole theory of openness, and then we do specific exercises that increase your creativity. Because in the end, you have to be able to be in the bar, and whenever you see someone you like, it could be even a guy, just a friend, or a guy you want to meet, or could be a business meeting. Having something to say to them, positive, something that opens a conversation, something that piques their interest, is extremely valuable. The way to do this, you need to learn how to be creative on the spot. Learn how to observe and notice good things about people. That's not something that comes naturally. That's why it has to be trained.
Keep up, motherfucker!
That's all I have for you guys today. This is the whole theory, the whole analysis of the verbal side of openness. Stay tuned for the next video, which will be about non-verbal communication when you approach somebody. And for now, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for the next video.